Hi, Leo Rising Sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 9th of March until the 15th of March. So it really feels like kind of like we're starting this from the internal to the external shift, actually. The sun is pretty prominent still in your eighth house, and then obviously the ninth house is getting more and more activated. With the eighth house energies, you did this deep soul cleansing. And then the ninth house is going to be about inspiration. And of course, still there is a lot of internal stuff going on because Jupiter is going in direct in your 12th house. And that's a bit of a guardian angel energy. So your guardian angel is going to be looking out for you a little bit more. But what really happens here is that I think you have been doing a lot of kind of heavy lifting and you have been in the dark a little bit. Potentially in the last 4 months, the planet of support and the wisdom, Jupiter, has been retrograding in your 12th house, and that might have made you feel more isolated or your efforts weren't being seen. But that is about to be ending. The king of all the planets starts moving forward, still in a blind spot though, but it's kind of like with a massive tailwind. So this is about moving from that shadow to kind of like spiritually feeling more empowered, and then maybe the roadmap of your own life is going to get a lot more clear. But we start the week with Mercury retrograde meeting Pallas Athene in your eighth house. And that is about a financial strategy. So maybe you have discovered certain type of talents of yours, and then you are thinking about how to monetize that. Or maybe you are going to start spotting patterns in your finances or within the partnership as well. Potentially, or even potentially, you are looking at how to manage other people's money or even thinking about investments as well. Remember, Paula Satini has got that mastermind, so it wants to troubleshoot something. And in the eighth house is the troubleshooting of debts, contracts, even legal issues as well. Maybe it's about looking at contractual agreements where you find hidden clauses or the missing link that might be settling a long-standing anxiety, financial trouble in your sign. Now, this is somehow telling you that it's not necessarily a time to sign anything just right now, but maybe we just need to be fixing the plan first, re-looking at our plans, our financial plans, our intimacy departments. Now, of course, with Jupiter being in the picture, because actually they are forming a trine here. So there is a little bit of a behind the scene victory that could be happening here. And, while the 12th house is very much your subconscious, maybe there were some mental fogs there, maybe old fears that kind of plague your life a little bit. But then intuitively, you might feel, that things are moving forward. I become more certain about stuff, or, you had certain type of invisible obstacles, and then that could suddenly disappear. Maybe a project you have been working on, it's kind of like in a gain momentum. You are about to be finishing it. You receive the sign that, you know what, I'm on the right track, and so forth. And this is telling you to trust your dreams, trust your guts. The universe is whispering the answers to you right now. You're just going to have to be paying attention to those, so-called coincidences, because they are not coincidences, especially when that Mercury, Pallas Athene, Jupiter configuration is pretty much taking place. We have got Mars and a North Node conjunction happening as well. And that is also in your eighth house. So this is the fated transformation archetype. We feel that urge to cut a tie that is draining you. You deep dive into a new investment opportunity, or even a healing journey as well. This is a powerful alignment, really. I mean, Mars in Pisces can give you the courage to walk away from something toxic, entanglements, and maybe you are ready to finally commit to this psychological purging, breakthrough, So for me, that is a phoenix moment. Now, Ceres enters your 10th house, and it's going to be there for a good 2.5 months. So you are, and that's a big shift because Ceres has been in the sign of Aries for the last 10 months. So that is about maybe with Ceres in the sign of Aries, you were actually taking courses, you started something, you started looking after your mental health, and then now we are ready to apply all that knowledge that we gained in our career. So I can imagine that it's kind of like your career becomes your garden. So you are going to be looking after your garden. You are going to be watering the plants there, let it grow. So this is about improving your status, nurturing your legacy as well. So I would spend pretty much the Sunday at least thinking about how you want to be remembered, what you want to achieve. Cities in Taurus wants you to build something physical and long lasting. It's about nurturing your reputation by doing something high quality but sustainable work as well. So what it really feels like is that that light is starting to come back to you, a lot more optimism here. A lot more opportunities can come around your way. You are still working on a bit of an internal fatty transformations because you want to be tending potentially your legacy. But somehow you might start feeling more supported by the unseen, and those fogs are clearing up, and you are mastering opportunities and your own transformation, and then you start building towards something the long term. Maybe even it can really talk to you about with that Jupiter, that you went through these private struggles, those subconscious blocks, and then they are just dissolving. And maybe it's a kind of like an invisible ally type of energy. You don't know where that inspiration comes from. It's kind of like you have been in an power cut type of mode, and then all of a sudden the light comes back up. It comes from an unexpected source. So it's about ending a cycle of self-sabotage, ending that mental fog. You're finding strategic solutions to intimacy debts, intimacy issues, debts, taxes, joint ventures. And instead of seeking the status that you might be doing with the ninth house, we gain clarity and then we are going to start moving towards building a legacy. That's why you have to be trusting your hunch this time around. That can be your most profitable asset. If a voice tells you to look into something, do it, for example, on Wednesday. The bottom line is that I think the heaviest part of the year might be behind you. And now you just have to be planning with that North Node, Mars, Pallas Athene, Mercury combinations towards a more of a big emergence. And you might not be able to see that just yet. It can be difficult for a Leo. Let's just be frank about it because, Leo rising sun is a regal sign. And then it's like a king having to be standing in a dark, mystical forest. But the sun is rising right now. So you are rising. And that's what I love about your chart right now. So good luck, Leo, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.